Hey, sorry, my video cut off for some reason. I forgot that I had a time limit. So, okay, here we go. So I gave you the materials on the other video and the description. If it wasn't clear to you, you can ask me, anything you want. But let's get started. So, I took the hair out of the extension box, which looks like this when you open it. It's just, this is a flap, it holds hair. And it's on a little silver hook, but the hook fell off of mine, so I'm not sure where it went. But, so this is the hair you get out of it. This is what it looks like. So it looks kind of like this. If you see, it's better now. These are wefts. This is what you call wefts right here. These little straight across things. That's what wefts are. And it might seem like there's a whole lot of them, but it really is not that long. But you don't want it to be too long. You don't want a hair left over. This is my color I'm going to use. The dark red auburn color is dark brown with a really strange red tint to a very strange dark red tint to it. Really pretty though. It's gorgeous. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be using, and it feels so smooth when you first open it. It's so soft. I love this stuff. So it's really beautiful. So this is what you're gonna start out with, this stuff. And FYI, I'll go over the carrying and washing instructions in the next video. For now, just for warning, do not wash these as soon as you make them. Like, wait until a week or so from now and wash them. Unless you wear these when you're doing it in sports, which you really should not do. I wouldn't recommend it. And I play sports, don't wear these when you're doing sports. So, yeah, make sure don't wash these after you finish them, because washing these things will only deprive them of the oil they already have in him right now, and the ends will get really fried and nasty. That's really good right now. It's really beautiful for, hair extensions, because remember, these things don't have oil built into them. There's no oil from the scalp on these things, so therefore they are drier than your actual hair, and that's why you should always, also, quick reminder, always have a bottle of some kind of oil, coconut oil, Moroccan oil near you, to use on these, because these don't have built-in oil with them, since they're not on a scalp or in your skin. So make sure you have them with you. Anyway, let's get started. So I don't know where my needle went. My needle didn't start the thingy yet. I'm just gonna act like I know what I'm doing for the moment in time. It won't be anyway. So I just totally rambled on there. But okay. So you have this thing right here. So make sure when you open these that it doesn't just fall out. It doesn't just like tumble out of nowhere. So you're gonna slowly open these things. And you might need scissors, like I have scissors right here. You just cut them. Okay, so cut this thing open. And this thing's going to slide off right here. Okay, so be careful when you open these things, because they might just like suddenly fall off for some reason. Here's a string that was supposed to be attached to it. Fell off. Okay, so get started here. You unwind these things. Okay. Girl. Start unwinding them and start separating them out with your fingers, like so. And trying to pull so hard, because again, it's very fragile hair. So again, this is like one weft. That's very, very thin. That's why I said if you're struggling with thin hair, this is all you're gonna need for one weft. But if you have anything thicker than anything as thick as my hair, thicker, double them up. Definitely. It's just way too thin for any volume. No volume's going to come out of this. Only going to be length that's going to be involved in this. See how long they are? So pretty. Okay. So, keep unraveling them. So they should eventually unravel into one huge, ginormously long weft. Just keep pulling out this thing. Again, that's what I meant by these things are the wefts right here. So, just keep pulling them off. It'd be easier to do this way. They're so soft, I swear to God. I wish my hair was this soft. Okay, just keep unwinding them. Keep separating it out, because you don't want it to be all in a huge, huge mess after you're done with it. It's like right there. Don't want that to happen. If your hair gets tangled doing this, then you might as well be done with hair. Okay, this is easier. Just to like that and shake it out. Slowly unwind this. It smells really good. Not sure why it smells so good. Okay, so you have the whole thing off there, and then you're trying to untangle this stuff. Grr. Okay. Okay. So this is how much. This is so much hair. It's more hair than I had to begin with in my first section. So this is how much hair you get. Oh God. That's a lot of hair. But think about it, this is just thin. This is just the single part. what you, I think he's blanking out. Okay, what you want to do with this stuff right now is you want to double it up. It's like a bed sheet, just fold it in. You cannot have these any thinner than this, just keep them this. Okay, so that is what it's going to look like. That's how thick it should be. So now you can tell that what I mean by doubling up. You now see it now better. It is now doubled up. You can see two wefts there. That's now considered to be one weft. That's how much you want to start out with right now. Before you even start cutting this stuff, don't cut it yet. Measure your head. I'll show you to measure in a second. So this is how much hair I got to work with. It's a ton of hair. Okay, so lay it somewhere random for the time being. It's so much hair, my god. Okay, so what you want to do is tape measure. Okay, so or you can't think that measure your head. So what you want to do is measure your head. I don't know if I can do this really well for y'all. But okay, so you want to measure your head. I already did my other extensions. I had them measured, but just for the sake of this. So you want to, when you divide your hair, okay, I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you can see it's not, but I'm sorry if you can't. Okay, so what you're going to want to do, can I pull it back a little bit? Okay. What you want to do is divide your hair into 3 main sections on top of your head. So the first section is going to be down here. So most people start like right here, something like that with their section, but I start lower. The lower you go, this is a trick I'm going to tell you. The lower you go for your first weft, the longer it's going to appear to be, even though it might not be 18 inches. When you go lower, it will look at 22 inches. So you get more out of the length if you start lower. So you want to start lower. So like I would go from right by my earlobes, like about midway on my ears, and then pull your fingers, go straight across like you're dividing your hair into half ponytail like this. That's your first section right here. That's how much hair is going to be underneath your first weft. This much. So, I don't know if you see that or not. I can't. I'm really sorry. So this is going to be your first section right here. Make sure it's straight across and not straight across at all. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like first. That's your first weft area, right there. So you can pin your hair up if you want to, you don't really have to. Let's see, where's my tape measure? Right there, okay. So, you're going to want to measure this here. I'm going to get a hair clip, because it only makes sense to you if I get a hair clip. Okay, so put my hair like this. So now, okay. So you get this part right down here. Measure, use tape measure, something like that. Measure your head and measure it from here. You don't want it to go all the way over here. That's not good. Measure it from here to here. You don't want to go too far with it. Rather have it narrower than wider, because you will always fix it with the single clip wefts. You can always fix that the length with this, but you want to start like this. So that's about, let me try to think. So you can only go this far, really. You measure that much, and when you measure it, do not measure from ear to ear. You want to measure only from go about an inch away from your ear to where the hair gets kind of thicker and more volumes on the hair. Measure that across the other side, but don't measure it to the other ear. Measure it to about an inch behind the other ear, so you have enough hair from right there as a weft to it. What I did in my first section, my first set of hair extensions, is that I went way too far, and I made them too wide, so then I had to rearrange the clips and cut them and, do a ton of stuff with that later on. So all you want to do right now is just cut them that way. You want to make sure that they're evenly measured across the back of the head. So that's the first one. So then you record that. Okay, so there to right there. I should be able to see that or not. Like there to there. That much. That's how much you want. And that, for me, is 5 inches. So I'm going to do my first small section 5 inches long. And then you take your hair down again, and then you section it off again. And this time you're going to be, crap, don't like it on me. Okay, so next time you're going to section this off differently. You're going to be going a little bit higher. So this time you're going to be going from right above your ear, right there, straight back. And this is where you're going to make your second section. You can make it a little lower if you want to. I will, just because my hair is thin and I need to get enough room for all my wefts. So this is where you start out with again. Get your clipboard. Here it is. Okay. So clip this in right here. I'm turn around for y'all. Okay. So I want to measure it again from this. You don't want to measure it from your ear. You want to measure it from an inch behind your ear, back here, like that, like so. Then you want to measure from that section to the other side, by an inch behind that ear. You have enough room. And that is about 5 inches as well. So there's now 5 inches. If you went higher up, it'd probably be about 6 inches. But for the sake that you rather go shorter, like narrower than longer. So the wider you go, the more it's gonna hit your ears, and that can irritate your ears so much. You don't want to have that happen. So you want to make sure that the weft is not going to exceed your ears. It's gonna be right before your ears, or about an inch before your ears, so that doesn't, rub against your ears. Okay. So your brown section is gonna be higher, about go from that part of your eye right here and go straight back like that. That's gonna be your third section, like so. Okay, so this is your third section. Section that off. And you're going to measure that again. Remember, go from an inch from the ear inwards. We're safer that way. Measure it straight across. And see what to do. That's 7 inches. So atypically, a person's going to be having their measurements being normally, for a normal kind of head, probably something like 4 or 5 for the smallest one, an inch more, or maybe half an inch more, and then a whole other inch more. That's normally what a person's head's going to be. Again, this is why I would not buy the pre-made clipped-in extensions, because if you do, then it might not, fit your head size right, so then therefore, it would get screwed up. So, because then it would not fit your head. So you want to make sure you do them your way first, and do them your own separate way. It's so much easier that way, I swear. So that's what you're going to have to do. I don't know where I'm going with this exactly, but you're going to make sure that you really, really want to go narrower. Because if you go wider, it would hurt. It's not going to be good for you. And it's also why you get the from scratch hair extensions. I think only 15 minutes in this video, since I realized this last video, so about a minute 30 seconds left. So I can't find my needle right now, but I'm going to find my needle later on. I'm going to show you how to start sewing them on. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to section it off. So now you have those 3 measurements. Make sure you remember those, or write them down, whatever, for that's going to be your hair. And then that's going to be the maximum width of around your head. You're also going to want 3 or 4 single clips, like that are about an inch long. These things are about an inch long, inch wide. So you're going to want extensions. You want 4 or 5 of these little things, 4 or 5 inch ones, to put in random places in case you want to cover up something or add a braid or whatever, or random highlight. And you're going to want the first one down here probably won't be more. It might be 3. If you want to be really careful, you might put 3 clips on there. It depends on how wide it is. For 4 inches, or 5 inches, like mine, I might do 3 just for the heck of it. So normally your smallest one down here is going to be 2 clips wide. Something like that, like this. That's about how wide they are, about 3 inches. 5 inches though is going to be more like this. So therefore, you're going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you probably will have 3 clips in there and 2 spaces in between. So basically, that's why clips are there, is to measure the width of each weft. So that's why you gotta be careful. I have about 20 seconds left, so I will answer questions you might have, and I'm going to have a part 3 after I get back from dinner to show you how to start cutting them up. But that's how you measure your head. Make sure you measure your head first before you do anything else. Again, questions, comments, let me know. Okay.